and teach me, please, because that would be useful. Anyways, we're recording. We are live.
Hi, we're live.
Ooh.
Will you will you need all of my features and everything on the character sheet, or no?
Say what?
Will you need all the features and everything on the
Noah
character
would
sheet?
probably like them
I figured.
so that he knows what you have in one place without having to open a book.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that'll be helpful for me. You guys know that I work better on paper instead of through the interwebs. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually make a character portfolio, like just a binder that has everyone's information in it. That way I can reference that whenever I'm working on D&D stuff. Like if there's something specific within your backstory I want to draw in, I want to be able to just like flip to that basically as we're making. I understand the wiki has its purpose. I've not been able to get the purpose. Like I understand it, I just can't function with it well.
Well, the wiki
I love it.
is not for specifically your use,
Right.
as a tool in the way that you would use your character portfolio.
Yeah.
It's more for player reference than anything.
Yeah.
And also just general reminders for anyone who needs it.
Right. All right. Is everybody here?
Think so.
I'm
here.
Elmo.
Is Ellington here?
Ellington has not texted me back.
Wellington. That's okay. We can go ahead and do, well, he wasn't here for yesterday's thing either. So, do we wait on Ellington or do we just go ahead and go?
Do you want me to
Like-
call him?
I'm sorry.
Do you want me to call him?
If you would like, that's fine.
Yeah, he's probably sleeping.
I mean, I say call him, give him like a few more minutes. Because session 6 is like session 6, season 6, episode 1, the beginning of the end. Of the
No.
beginning. Of the end.
Right. That's
Just
right.
tack on all the. It's an infinite loop.
Yeah.
It's in reference to that lovely song, Closing Time. Every new beginning. Yes, specifically the line, every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end.
Is that
Profound
Doctor,
words.
is that Doctor Who quote?
No,
This
that's
song is ending.
literally in the song Closing Time.
No, I'm just thinking about another quote that is applicable, my good sir.
Oh,
I
I'm sure
wasn't-
there's
I
at
wasn't
least one
saying-
Doctor Who quote that's applicable.
Pardon me?
I said there's at least one Doctor Who quote that's applicable, I'm sure.
If I'm thinking of what you're
Everything.
thinking about,
Ellington did not answer, which tells me that he is not participating.
okay. I mean, I don't know if that logic follows, but we'll roll with it.
everyone spam Ellington's phone.
All right, let's jump on into this thing. Someone please do a recap for last night.
I need to open my notes document. That's what I need to do.
All right, I guess I'll go. I will be the recapper. So, it is the festival of the winter solstice in High Point
In Spiricles.
in Spiricles. Let me get my actual notes. Okay. Winter solstice in High Point in Spiricles, and everyone is celebrating the winter solstice, the first snow that will bring the plants to life. And the party, it begins to realize that some people need to go their separate ways. And so the first to take their leave was the druid, who left with Tavo, sailing back to the mysterious island, soon to be nude. And then
Amen.
and then a tribe of, well, not to downplay my part, but I played a song for Hayes and Appa, and everyone cried.
Yeah, pretty casual.
And then a tribe of Loxodons who Appa had been searching for however many years Appa had been searching for, because I don't have the exact number pulled up, but for a while shows up and names her Appa Mara, which translate is little mother, I believe is what we settled on. Correct?
Who's Mother of the Little?
Mother of little mother.
Apamara?
Mother of
So
Little
they're
Mara.
Mara.
Mara
Yeah.
Appa.
we go.
Appa in the Loxodonian language is little, and then the Mara is mother. So
I was
little
paying
mother.
attention. There we go.
Okay. All right. And Hayes makes their dramatic, heartrending exit from the party, leaving a letter behind to explain their decision and why they're leaving. And they leave in the night before anyone can tell them goodbye. Appa also takes her leave and goes to the mountaintop to be with the Loxodon tribe. There were a couple other small little misadventures, people dancing, some wine was had, and a good time was had by all. And that's pretty concise, I feel like. I can go more
So-
detail if we need to.
A lot more
Or-
concise than I would have made it. So that's good.
Yeah.
And we're plotting the end of the world.
Oh,
Didn't
yeah.
start plotting. Shocker.
And be plotting with 3 of the most dangerous spirits on the face of Bardoon. Or 4 of the most
4.
dangerous spirits.
4.
What was the fourth one?
The one
Your mom.
inside of him.
Oh, with Dulera, yeah.
The not me kind.
So Kit, you had a
Yes.
Mestra. Did you take some dust from the body of Star? Is that how you have a
I
spirit?
took his ashes and put them in a jar
Okay, that's what I thought.
because no one
And then
stopped
you-
me and I wanted to
Callan.
keep them.
And then I thought you lost connection to Callan after he saved Hayes from the Banishee.
I was not sure about that. So Noah said I got him back.
Okay, fair enough.
He basically just sent his inspiration point. It wasn't like
Mhm. Callan went over and delivered it.
Yeah.
It would be cool if you like sacrifice something, but
No.
okay.
That's not the
You
development.
sacrifice
Dan
so
wants.
many limbs for this
I have lost enough body parts.
party. I don't care.
Have you emotionally developed? That's
Um,
what's important.
Yes.
Into a worse person.
he's come a long way. It's been
I have
great.
gone from chaotic,
Yes.
neutral to lawful.
Still evil.
Still evil.
Cool motive. Still
I like
murder.
to think that Saidoon had some help with that, but I don't know.
I'm less chaotic.
Less chaotic because of the constant threat of divine smite.
The all-powerful sword of Damocles that is divine smite.
I was more worried about the soul reaping sword.
Yeah, because Saidoon. And
You know, the sword that
that's
was like
how James's
insta-kill
first
you.
character at random. Not,
Yeah, random.
It wasn't very predictable.
But then again,
I still
I
don't
also
know
knew
the
my
actual
luck.
statistics for it. Yeah.
What a wild times the days of the the party of yore were.
Oh man.
Oh man,
Have you gone back and looked at any of the summaries?
Oh yeah, no, that's what I mean. It's fast times at Bardoon High.
We need to go
Oh
back
my,
to rating.
Casey, you just
Hmm?
Casey, you just changed the format of everything. What?
Yeah,
Wait,
I
what?
did. I got bored at like 4:30 in the morning.
ditto.
On
I'm
what?
still working on season 4 because that's
book.
where it gets real.
Oh, it did
confusing.
change.
Ooh, let me observe. I hope my bookmark is still there. Ooh,
But yeah, seasons 1 and 2 are fully there, and those are pretty solid.
Season
started
4
on
is
season-
partially there, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's maybe a fourth of the way done.
Oh wow, that was a lot to happen in a fourth of that season.
It was pretty insane.
That was also just a really long season in general.
It was, but some of the best like plot lines, I think.
Last season on Bardoon.
Yeah, we could do a season recap if you guys wanted, or we can just go ahead and jump on into this thing.
Yeah, whichever. Billy, how much have you been informed of?
I'll be right back.
Mythical creatures called Banistiers. Rain
was-
Terror.
Yeah.
Hang on, no, you're starting way too late if you're doing a season recap. That's the tail end, my guy.
No, actually, the Banistiers appeared in season 4.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
And
you're
Billy
about
was
to say
there
that
for
they
that.
no longer exist. That was the next words to come out of your mouth. So,
Yeah, those were the next words. Yeah.
that's not a season recap. That's a season finale recap.
Oh, okay. Once upon a time, there was a man. And I can't do it. Gosh, how did season 5 start? You guys started with the
gas strip.
yeah. Never mind. I don't feel comfortable doing a whole recap. I'm gonna forget stuff.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's jump into this thing. Let's just roll from here. I believe everyone is informed enough on what they should know and that sort of thing. So let's just get at it. Last night we ended with, oh, I'm sorry. Let me do housekeeping. I need a few volunteers, no more than 6, with a D&D project, a test run, if you will, a test run thing that will be coming up in the next in the next 2 weeks probably, where it'll basically be a one shot, but it's going to be recorded with some of the new recording equipment, and we just see how it goes, see if it's going to work the way that I envision that it will, or if it's just, or if I need to restructure my plan. So if you are free on like a Thursday night, from like 7 p.m. until like 10 maybe, and that's like probably later than what it would go.
That would
Like some
depend
of-
on the Thursday for me.
Okay, and it will be in person. It would be at the tavern, so you'd have to be comfortable with that. I suggest that the 4, 5, 6 of us, however many we're able to get, that we all wear masks and that sort of stuff, and then we go from there. That just keep that in the back of your head if that's something that you'd be interested in on a Thursday night.
I
As far as
volunteer because
other-
I don't work on Fridays.
Hey, nice.
I volunteer with tribute.
All right. Well, just shoot me a message and I'll make a group chat of the people who have volunteered to do so. And I think that's it. Please, everybody, remember normal D&D rules. Try not to talk over people if at all possible. We're gonna go in a pseudo initiative order the same way as how we did last night, and just have fun. This is gonna be a fun one. You guys know your characters well. I'm so happy with how well last night went and with how the past couple weeks have gone, with like you guys just knowing your characters now, that I'm very excited to see what sort of new character little paths happen. Anyways, let's jump on into this thing. Last night we left off with everyone leaving, and it is the next morning. You guys are in the town of High Point that once again mimics the Gothic architectural style that I described last night, where it's all made of a very dark, a darker medium gray, a darker medium gray set of stonework that makes up the entire place. The cobblestone is very smooth, and there was a light blanket of snow that began to fall last night that followed
with the actual coming of the solstice. However, the party continues for the next 2 weeks. The celebration does not end there. With the celebration continuing the way that it always does, it is a 2-week celebration for these 2 full weeks of snow that begin to fall, and then it's snow sort of irregularly afterwards. So yeah, there's more partying to be had. There are places that are giving discounts on items because they know so many people travel into Hightower to actually participate within this incredible event. That they are known for their party long and wide away, and there's going to be a lot that you guys can do within the next 2 weeks. One thing that we didn't necessarily clarify last night was where you guys were all going to sleep. I assumed that you all, unless you specifically told me somewhere else where you were sleeping, that you all would be sleeping in the tavern or the Travelers Inn, excuse me, that I mentioned last night as well. Is that the case for everybody?
Yeah.
I will actually find just like a table set up, and I will just spend the entire night reading.
Lovely. Okay.
Take an exhaustion point.
Nope.
That as the night goes on and it gets kind of cold, Brain would eventually move into the tavern or into the Traveler's Inn.
Yeah.
But I think he would do it in like a roundabout fashion, so to speak. Like just climbing in through an unlocked window and hiding under someone's bed, almost.
Lovely sight in the morning.
Oh,
You can go
You go.
first, Dad. You can
No,
go first.
no,
No, you go
it's
first.
cool.
You
You
go.
go.
No, you go.
Go.
You go first. You go first. All right, fine. I'll go first. Unless you want to go first.
Shut up.
Gosh.
So, Kai would just sleep through the night, but as soon as it is dawn, he'd be heading out, like to get stuff done.
Sure. Sure.
So he would sleep through the night, but he
All
would
right.
get up early.
Kit.
all right. So Den probably would not go to sleep. He'd probably be still with his more ghostly friends, and then give one glass off to his old family.
Sure. That's perfect. All right. I think everybody else we've heard from. So Day is either not spending the night in her room or somebody else is spending the night in her room. That's fair. All right. All right. And Sabrina, Sabrina may be doing something kind of. All right. Yeah, let's do this thing. It is the next morning. Everyone, please go ahead and roll initiative.
Are we adding initiative modifiers? Or?
We are not.
I didn't get last. I'll just say that.
You may not have, but I did.
Oh,
That's
Okay.
$100.
I lost my pen.
That'll do it.
so how's everyone's day been?
All right.
Well,
Good.
Let's go ahead and rock this thing. I've lost my notebook there. All right, Casey.
I got a 5,
All right.
but I would like
thought
to
you did.
remind you of that one Bible verse.
What do you know?
Shall be last.
The
Let
first shall
Casey
be
do another
last, and the
roll.
last shall be first.
Small shall inherit the earth.
When you only quote the Bible to suit your need.
Hey, judge not lest ye be judged.
So like every other Christian.
That's not what it is.
Not judging it when it's facts.
That was funny. Billy.
Get a 10. And Billy, you're muted.
Billy, you're muted.
Push to talk is not working right. It just puts spaces in chat. I've got a 10.
You got a 10. Okay. 10 and a lot of spaces in chat. Drew.
Well,
Jason.
20.
Ooh.
Naturally?
You said no
Yeah.
modifiers.
First roll of the
Yeah.
season. Nat 20 for
Yeah,
you.
that's good. Devin,
14.
Matt,
No, 19.
Heather,
Oh, the awkward death boys.
Awkward Death Boys. Yes. Heather got a 2.
Oh, no.
Heather.
Does not disappoint when it comes to initiative.
Exact.
My table buddy can't be here with me in person, so she's next to me in initiative order.
Aw.
Kit.
19.
All right, we're gonna need a reroll on 19s. Noah,
15.
Kit, how are we re-rolling 2 nights in a row?
I don't know.
Sabrina,
I think I won though.
You got a 13.
You won because I took a natural 1.
I took a nat 20.
Come on.
So I'm gonna beat Jason now.
No.
To go up one.
You got a nat 20 on the roll off, you just ascend one number.
You
Another roll off, y'all.
Awkward
All
Death
right.
Boys.
Death Boys for life.
I mean, technically, the three of us are
Yes.
all three death boys, so.
Oh, that's
Death boys
true,
for death.
I think I qualify as a death boy.
To be
I don't know what
honest,
your character
the
is.
first 4 of you, really.
Wait, who's the
Jason,
fourth
Kit,
one?
Matt, and Noah. All
Oh.
the Death Boys right after the other.
We prefer the term sad boys.
No, actually,
No.
we have
No,
ADB,
yeah.
ADBs.
Yorick and Callan are the ADBs. We had discussed this during the fire last night.
What is oh my god.
all right, you guys ready for initiative order?
Yep.
Yeah.
Lay it on us.
Jason, Kit, Matt, Noah, Devin, Sabrina, Drew, Billy, Casey, and Heather. Again, that is Jason, Kit, Matt, Noah, Devin, Sabrina, Drew, Billy, Casey, and Heather.
And it's in the chat.
All right, awesome. So if you guys need to reference it, it's there. Let's go on into this thing. And let's actually, before we jump into real play, let's go ahead and reintroduce our characters, or introduce our characters for the first time, I should say. Jason, who are you playing, Sir Yorick?
So just like brief introduction, I guess.
I would say make it the introduction that you need everyone to understand about your character, if that's backstory stuff. We're going to be hitting a lot of that stuff within like regular gameplay, like during travel and that sort of stuff.
Right.
But I still think that it's helpful for everyone to have some knowledge of who each other is beforehand. So yes, go with your physical description, go with a little bit of their backstory, go with what their personal goals are and where they came from prior to joining.
Okay. And of course, some of this will be meta, but it's whatever.
Yeah.
So Yorick is kind of a not a very physically built person. If anything, it just comes from the rigging of the sails on a ship is where most of his physique would be built from. Just kind of medium length, shaggy black hair with stubble. Kind of going with the witch hunter type vibe with the clothing, large wide brimmed hat, and he has strapped to the back of his waist is a sword with an almost like an eye with an eyelid closed over it right now. And he's actually wrapped most of the handle and hilt up with a dark cloth to keep that hidden. He also has hanging from his waist a raven skull, and is generally, he looks exhausted. So he initially grew up being the son of a Navy member from Noxenlunda and the daughter of a famous politician. After his parents were removed from the picture, he was given to his uncle to raise, who was actually a servant to the Raven Queen. He was actually very high up in the chain of command for the Raven Queen, where he was an ebony guard, and their zeal for the Raven Queen is unmatched. So his uncle Samuel wanted him to replace him in the order. So that came with a lot of mental and physical abuse to get him ready for that. After a while, he left, trying to find his brother after a huge mess up because his brother was now a politician. After a huge mess up with him, his brother was forced to banish him from Noxenlunda. And eventually he got caught up in some pirating. Eventually, even starting his own business as a smuggler, and started doing pretty well. And during that time, he got married. And there's a lot that I probably shouldn't go into right now, but eventually his wife dies, and he thinks it's members of the Raven Queen's clergy that did it. So he goes on a killing spree, any of the Raven Queen's followers that he can find, eventually being killed by his uncle, and then being sent to hell. The Raven Queen realizes why he did this and said that she did not order it, but in order to give him just a chance to see his wife again, offers him a deal that he has to give either lay to rest or revive a number totaling 10,000, like laying to rest undead souls or reviving people. After a few years doing this, he realizes that's kind of an impossible task to complete. Eventually searches for another way to get out of the deal, and then eventually resurrect his wife on his own. The Raven Queen catches on and then sends him back to hell, where he spends the next 2 years in the fourth layer with the guide, and he forms a pact with them, and then eventually stumbles on the party. So there's a lot of stuff to kind of cover with this, but that's kind of very generally what's going on with him.
That's perfect. That's perfect. I'm sure that everybody has questions, but for the time being, I think that's I believe that's perfect. Let's move on. Kit.
Warning, the same sort of thing. There we go.
Nice.
Get that feedback back on my. All right, you're wearing the same sort of thing that Jason did, correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right then. All right, so I am playing Din Draylen, also pronounced Din Draylen, depending if you know the city. He's around 6 footish in height, average size. He's around 340 years old, but looks to be around his 20s. He has some missing parts that did look a bit different, but now they are a brass leg and arm on his right arm and left leg. Since Jason went ahead and put some things, some meta knowledge out there, I did the same. He was born a long time ago in the city of Dralene, under the I guess ruler of the city. Sorry, it's the city of Dralene, not Dralene. My bad on that one. He grew up there for about a century until he eventually left of his own accord, sort of, with some mistakes he made, and eventually joining the Legionnaires for about 2 centuries, with which he eventually joined the party. And then
Right.
from then, he stuck with them. I don't know how much else I should say.
I think that's enough.
Okay.
I think that's under yeah. Then you still look tired all the time. Your eyes are
Yes.
still sort of dark.
Yeah, I forgot to describe that. Yes. Black
Two metal
hair,
rims.
green eyes, and I guess the only one that wouldn't know would be Billy. Den is Baleblood. You don't know who Balebloods are.
Well, Billy was around for that.
He was
but-
around, but
I was around for that. Yeah.
I wasn't sure if he was ever there when we said it there in session. My memory's awful.
All
So-
right.
Just double checking.
Perfect. Matt.
Cool.
I am playing Callan. He's a half orc, average height, short dark hair, dark eyes that will occasionally just go black for fun reasons. He was abandoned at birth and taken in by a kindly old toy maker in Abergeny. And obviously, growing up, he was given the name of Tor. And growing up, he was constantly bullied as he was the only, half-orc kid in the area. And finally, one day, something inside of him snapped when he was being bullied, and he flew into a blind rage and attacked his tormentors. And it took several adults to pry him up off these kids. And in the aftermath, he realized that he had killed the leader of the group, named Kavarn, I believe. As he was only a young child, he couldn't be tried, but his adopted father realized he needed to be sent away to learn how to control his anger and his temper. So he was sent to the monastery of Andanuru to learn the way of the monks. These monks were affiliated with death. They study death in all of its essences to try to learn mastery over it. He was initiated by being ceremoniously killed and took a trip through hell in order to learn powers and people and the ways of death. Since he survived, he was, semi-initiated. He spent the next, 14 years of his life studying, and he was finally put out into the world to basically get beyond the walls, see what he would do with his training, and basically go out. And he would also when he came into the monastery, he was given the name of Callan, which was symbolizing the death of self and the birth of a new life and a new beginning. He has yet to earn his last name. That is what he was basically going out to do, is to try to see if he could earn the right to be a full-fledged member of the monastery, be given a last name, and be accepted fully. And then we ended up just going through hell again. So he was like, yeah, this is kind of like old hat for me. And then of course it wasn't. So he basically stumbled upon the party by chance and offered his help because he just found a group of people who were out doing good and figured he would tag along and see what he could do. And then it kind of ended up as he's now been left by most of the friends and connections that he has made, either through death or them leaving. So he's kind of trying to turn over a new leaf, and he's kind of quieted the demons within himself and is learning to try to integrate himself into society more.
Fantastic. That's perfect. I think that's enough. Noah.
All right. So Chiron is a tiefling, and he was born to an elf and a half orc. The elf's name was Alorn, and his mother's name was Seeger. and he grew up in the town of Solace in, I believe we settled on Luxensolda as his town. And he lived there to be about 12 when raiders came and attacked the village, ravaged everything, destroyed most of the town, burned to the ground, people killed. He was the only survivor, and as he was coming back from burying his parents, he met another elf named Hedron, who was a wizard who just happened to be passing through the town, as wizards form habits through their long lives for the most part. And he came through and took Callum with him to Dekram Tulbray, where he was trained at the Tower of Minden Nunal Galad, the Tower born of light, where he spent the next 10 years training. And at the age of 22, his entire master, his two fellow apprentices, and 3 other wizards were killed, because it's still unconfirmed if they lived or died, by being taken into a portal which warped Kai's shadow and his magic, and has scarred him ever since. He left Dekram Tulbray in search of the party because his master had left writings on how great and powerful certain members of the party were. So he followed the party for about 2 years until he finally caught up with them in actually Luxensolda again, where he joined the party. He is like I said, he's a tiefling. He is a light purple with black hair. He has horns that curve out and around like a ram's horns, and he's around 6'2", 177 pounds. Oh, and he has golden eyes. If you've ever seen like the Witcher game, kind of like that. He's 24 now. I think that's that good.
Yeah, that's fantastic. After Noah is Devin.
Okay, so I'm playing as Dea Dagon. Everyone calls it Day. I mean, who wants to have that much of a mouthful? So I'm a tiefling. I am dark red. I am 6'6", and I'm trying to decide if I'm going to commit to this accent.
Do it.
So,
Do it.
if it fades halfway through, we're just going to roll with it. Anyway, so I was abandoned as a child. Never knew my parents until later, but that'll come in a minute. So I grew up in a port city at Oakley Baldoyn, which we don't have a name for yet, because until the collapse and all of this happened, Oakley Baldoyn didn't really have great port cities because it was underwater half the year. So now DM has to make something up. So that's coming later. Anyway, when I was about 15, I stowed away on a ship called the Drunken Maiden. I quickly was discovered, but was utilized because of my size, even at that age. The captain, Gruthar, who was a dwarf, kind of took me in, and I met up with Hiroti, who was a half-orc who had all this ambition to sail her own ship and be a captain, and so that's kind of what we did. We worked our way through the ranks. She always had way more ambition than I did, so I just kind of tagged along, but, you know, I think it kind of helped being me, kind of likable, happy most of the time. Kiro always had the ambition in the mind for all the planning, but, you know, still got to be friendly sometimes. So we, after Gruthar died, Kiro took over as the captain of the Drunken Maiden, and I was her first mate. And then we kind of worked our way through the Pirate Syndicate. Undead Corsairs, probably heard of them. Kind of famous, infamous, you know. Yeah, so we made a name for ourselves. And then I got stranded on an island by Kiro. So thought I was gonna die. Got struck by lightning and sent to hell. You know, actually was kind of a good thing. Turns out it was my dad saving me after I proved that I could tough it out. So spent about a year there. Don't really remember anything, but yeah, I'm out, so cool. And I have these cool new powers and this giant anchor that I use as a hammer. So I did a little bit of adventuring, you know, kind of famous, like I said. you've probably heard there's a couple songs about the undead Corsairs and Kiro, and one or two about me. Ever heard the song Golden Heart? That's me. So I adventured for a few years afterwards. I ended up in the Neocolo for a time. Not great. Escaped from the Neocolo, adventured more, kind of got used a bit for muscle and fame, and now I'm in Spiricles. Because like, who wouldn't want to be in this amazing country, in this great, great town, and be here for this festival? And I'm totally not running from my former lover / captain, who now knows I'm alive and is hunting me down. So yeah.
I think that's perfect. Absolutely. Anything else to add?
That's really about it. Other than Day just really wants to find a family. She's always been a misfit, and being a pirate kind of helped with that. Everybody was a misfit there. So the party definitely takes her attention after seeing kind of how varied everybody is. Like I said, she's been kind of used to being the muscle, kind of the, when I'm this size, kind of get taken advantage of a bit. Kind of want to find a place where I don't fit in, where I fit in because I don't fit in, if that makes sense. So that's kind of my goal here. That's about it, I guess.
Fantastic. Let's move on.
Also, you definitely saw her dancing with like everybody, and Dirty Dancing lifted off into the air during the festival.
Absolutely. Sabrina. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hang on, I gotta put up my thing.
That's fine.
So I'm playing. What? Hello?
Hello?
We're here.
Who are you
I
playing?
thought you said something to me. I'm so sorry.
No, I said.
I've divided attention. I am playing a character named Zenith, who is, still an elf. So like my last character was a half elf. Now I'm just a whole elf. She's a female wood elf bard. But rather than being like a musical bard, she is College of Swords, but instead of swords, it's archery. So she is a wood elf, so she's got like copper skin and sort of like blondish red hair and green eyes. She's 322. She spent the last like 150-ish years in a very kind of like quiet little town where she is kind of like the medicine person, as well as like she's just been teaching everybody in that village for like years, like generations upon generations of people, how to use bows to like hunt for food for themselves, or like, she teaches tricks. She does cool tricks with her bows and stuff like that. Because she's a bard, so she shows off with them. And after doing that for a long time, getting through like, 4 or 5 generations worth of people in her village, she decided she wanted to just wander around and kind of, just get to know the world more. And, because she's not young, but she's still kind of young for an elf. And so she has been kind of going from like festival to festival, just showing off her archery skills. And so that's how she ended up at the Solstice Festival. And that's where she, I assume, is going to run into everyone. And I think she will be kind of drawn to the party just because it's something new and something different that she's never done before. And she's always kind of worked by herself. And I think she is going to be drawn to the opportunity of working with a group.
Dig it.
Who said dang it?
Dig it. Dig it.
Oh,
I
dig it.
dig it. Yes.
Yeah. I also dig it a lot.
Have to, boy.
I, for one, am excited to have another archer on the
Yeah.
because we've never had many archers before, and now apparently we just have
The main
Our arrows
one
will blot out the
we
sun.
had was
Use a bow.
Hey Noah, you know what she can do? We can do tricks where she fires stuff off and I catch it with deflect missiles.
We could do
Make
it.
a lot of money like
Oh,
that.
he quit. He left. Sabrina,
Yeah.
how do you spell Zenith? Is it Z or like an X kind of thing?
Zenith.
Okay, I just wanted to be sure.
I'll
And,
type it.
How do you spell Day's full name, Devin?
I'll type it in the chat.
All right, thank you. Just for
Or I'll
notes.
just
Only.
Muchas gracias, mi compadres.
All right. After Sabrina is Drew.
Yes, I'm excited for this. I will say it has a good bit of meta, I guess you could say. But as I'm assuming you'll come to know, he's a very just exceptionally straightforward person. So honestly, this would be information that would come forth very, very quickly, sort of in either conversations or just in the environment in general. I am playing Athanasius the Torchbearer. Hailing from Abramina, Athanasius was dedicated to the temple of the goddess of active justice, Jazir, as a child. He was brought up in the way of a very select group named the Order of the Flaming Rose. Among 10 boys, he was the sole boy to survive the test of the eternal flame. Known formally to the religiously devout, the Order of the Flaming Rose also cast its shadow in many spaces in Bardoon. The life task of the Torchbearer, the sole living wielder of the ceremonial torch, is to seek to consume the lifeblood of those who wish to sow injustice in the world. It is known that fire purifies, and the torch seeks to bring much needed light to an increasingly impure world. As such, for the honor and glory of his order, in service to the beloved goddess, an oath of devotion was made. No less than 10,000 must be purified by the time he is the age of 100, to then return the torch to its mantle or face eternal shame. This is the way, this is the light, this is the justice of Jazir. He has currently slain 8,204 creatures of injustice. Athanasius does not demand the attention of the room intentionally. However, the image of his armor and sword attract the attention of many. He stands at a moderate height, 5'10", unsuspecting in his stature. His armor is elaborately painted with a flaming rose, small in the upper left of his breastplate, with a reflection that resembles the gleam of a roaring fire. His great sword, mounted on his back, looks like it should be a bit too heavy for the half-elf. The scabbard presents the look of ancient leather, and the handle of flashy decadence, the pommel a golden flame. Athanasius, a blindingly devout man, someone whose entire life has been steeped in religious tradition, symbolism, and posture towards existing in the role that he finds himself, has been on the road for quite some time, almost 55 years now. The 80-year-old stands with an unusual confidence, a temperament that demonstrates an otherworldly resolve to his mission, one that he has not questioned his entire life. His path has taken him to where he is now. He goes wherever he hears of injustice, obsessively counting the lives he must righteously take to be able to return to his people, proud and honored. He has fought in armies alongside small bands of soldiers and a group similar to the one he finds himself now. Well, more often than not, as his worn coat speaks to, he continues ever forward, walking from one area to another, only ever utilizing a horse when it is offered to him. Athanasius does not desire fame or wealth, only the promised immortalization with his goddess on the completion of his task. After gathering the minimalistic supplies necessary to continue on his journey, he attends to the local temple or holy space to converse with the local holy men before donating the rest of his funds, spending precisely 10 minutes in prayer, and moving on towards the next objective. And before you stands Athanasius the Torchbearer.
Drew, do you realize we have switched places?
Is his
Absolutely.
horse's name Roach?
Roach. Dang it, Devin! Why would you steal my joke? I know you, Drew Unruh. I see you.
That I really, really like that.
This is gonna be fucking interesting.
I love this new party.
Yeah, this is gonna get weird up in here.
It'll be fun.
I have a question. Do assist count towards the, if does an assist to put down an unrighteous count towards your count?
Or do you
No,
have to
the
last hit it
sword.
like League of Legends?
No, the sword itself must be the one to take the lifeblood.
Oh,
Have
so
you
he's gonna
taken
try
any
to steal.
lives of those not deemed unrighteous? With this?
Say again.
Have you taken the lives of those that have not been deemed unrighteous with that sword?
In his 55 years, 4.
While fighting in armies, 4. That is
4.
impressive.
That he is
Yeah.
aware of.
For my 10,000 goal, I've only done 367.
Yes.
That's
Hey,
for
hey,
resurrecting or
Jason,
destroying undead.
if it
yeah.
helps, you're playing the game with a necromancer. We can do this real
Yeah.
fast.
Well, I can resurrect dead too, or I can like animate dead too.
Okay, well here's another one of the fun things to I guess figure out. This is something that we'll have to we'll have to role play and figure out. It has not been stated what qualifies as a creature of the unjust or the unjust.
Yeah, that's be fun to find out.
So that's a very particular thing. Again, hilariously religiously devout. So there's a whole thing to explore there.
So I need to start writing toss a coin to your paladin then, I suppose. I see you, Drew and Rue.
Does he see a gray area between just and unjust?
No, there's not.
It is explicitly defined.
Yeah, there is no gray area there.
No.
You are either a fully just person or you are partially to severely unjust.
Yes, if your standard, basically, if the standard has been corrupt, then yes, you would technically qualify for under a creature of injustice. However, that standard is unknown to you at this time.
Boy, how do you feel about people who manipulate death? This is going to be fun.
Well, all the
We have
returning
like 5 of them in this party.
all the returning people technically have the stench of hell and death on their souls forevermore now.
Hey, I was born this way.
And then
On the right
Callan
track,
put a
baby.
hole in himself.
Oh yeah, that's
I
right.
was
Do we still
gonna-
have that?
Yeah, we don't still have the hole in our chest, do we?
No.
Okay. Okay. I
Oh,
wasn't sure if walking out of town with the massive gaping hole with the powers seeping out of it.
No.
Like, did they become hollows from Bleach?
Those
partially,
more
yes.
hollows from Dark Souls, kind of.
I do remember specifically all of you in some point or another said, "Oh yeah, no, I'm avoiding being an edgelord."
No, I
Throwing it-
embraced it.
Just throwing it out there.
I never said that. I was literally dubbed an edgelord within 5 minutes of showing up in this.
I
group.
think the first day I made Din, I was saying I think I'm gonna hate playing an edgelord.
Mhm.
And here we are.
And here we are, yeah. All right, after Drew, Billy.
Okie dokie. So I'm playing a fawn named Lucretia. She is a privileged young lady of about 24, and she has only been to Lightbar. Her family comes from mead making and distributing goods via sea vessels, with a few caravans in between. She has decided to venture out from reading different books of different heroes and wishing to discover more histories in the world. Particularly, she has a fondness to paleontology. She actually wears a spade on her hip that's actually been sharpened on one end to be a hand axe, pretty much. She is weaker than the normal person, very ADHD. She does most of her movement in proxing. And I love that word. That's my word of the week.
It's such a good word.
And let me see. So she wants to explore different ruins and different places of the world. So she's more looking for a party just to accompany her to that. This is her goal. And she hopes to find some protection amongst numbers while helping them out. let's see, she found her way here just via accidentally smuggling. She was pouting in a box and got crated onto a ship by accident. And she decided to keep her mouth shut and said, "This is the way."
All right.
She is actually here in the city with nothing but her spade and a few coins to her name. That is it.
All right. Lovely. Perfect.
Can you type that spelling out in chat for me, my man?
It is on Billy's name.
Oh, I'm just. Oh,
She will also answer to Lucy.
sorry, I didn't see Billy. I wasn't scrolled over enough. Sorry.
The answer to Lucy with a Y or with an IE?
With a Y, of
It
course.
matters.
Some people get really picky about that.
They're pronounced the same way, aren't they?
Oh, you said Lucy instead of Lucy. You must hate me.
All right, let's move on. That was Billy. Let's go to Casey.
Popping.
Poppin'.
Okay. So I am bringing to the table, Brain the Rock Johnson. He's a goblin, and he's short, like he's real short. Like 3 foot and an inch could probably ride your average Great Dane, if things got just weird enough for that to be necessary. He is ugly as all hell. He looks like a wrinkled little scrotum on top of a skinny body. His head is completely smooth shaven, and he's got pointy ears starting from like up here that just go all the way down to his mid back. And they have different like metal and bone piercings throughout them, which all represent kills on the battlefield. His face is like stupid ugly. It's like someone took a can of tuna and then like smacked it with a frying pan, and that just became his facial structure. It's like a pug almost.
Wait, are you a scrotum or a tuna can?
I'm a pug's scrotum in a tuna can. Very much. And he's got like a stupid little overbite that leaves his canines exposed.
I
No,
don't like that image at all.
he's got like these big ass like just pitch black eyes, like no white, no iris. And he always looks confused, like he's always squinting, and it's never clear if it's like confusion or like concentration or there's just like a really bright light somewhere. He's just always got a fucking squint on his eyes. As I told Billy earlier, the color of his skin somewhere between like a cabbage and a cucumber. They had like a bastard love child. That would probably be about right. And then around his left eye in like a circle are a bunch of really like roughly drawn and like tattooed glyphs. It's like my ex-girlfriend's stick and poke, but worse. And he carries not only a compound bow, which is about as tall as he is, he also carries a maul and a great sword. So he's like this 3 foot tall like toddler that's just armed to the teeth.
Where does he carry these?
How big is a typical greatsword?
On his back.
It's about 4 or 5 feet long.
They are appropriate
It is a
to him.
heavy weapon. And if 5e only makes it so, you only have like a minor disadvantage from doing something like 4 times your size.
Yeah.
So
I will go ahead and say they are like appropriately sized to him. So they're not like dragging the ground behind him, but they're still rather large.
Do they deal the same amount of damage?
I have the same stats because can't be arsed.
there is no 5e size difference of damage. There
Yeah.
wasn't.
Yeah, and
It's up to Noah if he wants to do like one of those.
So
I'll just have a one-handed greatsword so I can dual wield.
That was the thing.
that would be a short sword at that point, or a long sword.
No, it was called Monkey Grip. It just allowed you to dual wield giant weapons.
Either way,
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
But so like he's always got just like these various weapons and blades and handles sticking out from behind his head.
Safe.
Like the none of them are very well taken care of. He wears like this chainmail shirt that he took off someone, but it was like too big, so he had to do some field adjustments to it to make it not look like just a dress on him. And he doesn't wear a helmet or a hood because he believes it's dishonorable to conceal your face from your enemy. And he's an idiot. Dumbest man you've ever met. Dumbest man you will ever meet. Literally as intelligent as your average ape. That's not an exaggeration. His
Smarter than high school students.
yeah, his intelligence is a 6 and his charisma is a 7. It's the same stats as the ape from 5e. So you've got a death monkey in your party now. Have fun with that.
What? We went from blood cookies to this?
Yeah, yeah.
no, honestly, whenever I saw Brain's character page, I was like, oh, he's going back to the like Foop aesthetic.
No.
Nope.
Foop was smarter.
Well,
So we, oh man, there's gonna be a lot that comes from that. But can we just admire the mental picture that we all had of an infected scrotum with, because of the coloration, just an infected scrotum that is tattooed and pierced everywhere, hence causing the infection, riding a Great Dane into battle and smelling of tuna as well.
Yeah,
Just,
it's about right.
I've been to hell twice and I don't think I've smelled anything that bad.
for little Cletus, his mother was a bulldog.
Your mother was a bulldog and your father smelled elderberry.
Oh man.
I fought in your general direction.
I'm crying.
So yeah,
Kate doesn't understand that joke though.
That's Monty Python Holy Grail.
That's great.
How have you watched that, but not Princess Bride?
I don't know.
In his defense, I'm probably the oldest one here, and I have not seen Princess Bride.
Yeah, I'm not the only one.
However, Monty Python and the Holy Grail is also like super popular. So is Princess Bride. So if you hadn't watched it, you could pick up on quotes from it. Like they're overused.
oh
Fair
yeah.
point. Fair point.
All right. Last but not least, Heather.
Hey. My name is Lorilla Baron Ashhearth. I am a water genasi with blue skin. I resemble a human, somewhat petite, but with large eyes. I grew up at the lighthouse, a very prominent, significant place at the coast of the Rainbow Waterways. And I grew up with my grandmother, who was not actually my grandmother. I was brought to her by a fisherman who found me, but she told me that my coming was foretold. Because of my position at the lighthouse and connections with the local Centaurs, I served as a leader, respected leader in the Rainbow Waterways. There's a quiet experience about me. As a druid, I'm experienced with nature, especially herbs, and I carry the stories relayed to me by grandmother. Specifically, stories of the stars. My star map is my most treasured possession and how I guide my life, and everything that happens is connected to a great cosmic plan.
Perfect. Is that it?
I think so.
All right. Beautiful. Think you guys know each other. I'll open it up for a second to ask specifics from each other about, like, did you guys have any questions about something that you were confused on with someone's character without diving too much into meta, and then we'll get moving.
I needed to clarify. I think there's something that I mildly missed. As a half elf, he has white or almost like gray, white hair, deep blue eyes, and more of a grayish kind of skin. Just to clarify. Sorry.
White hair and gray skin, huh?
Is he related to somebody I think I know?
That sounds real familiar, Drew.
Do the words R.A.
Was not-
Salvatore?
Was not intended to be.
I'm sorry, Brain the Rock Johnson. You're not allowed to criticize someone who bases their character off another character.
No, that would be Dwayne the Rock Gnome Johnson.
Yeah.
I will say, if there may be some similarities. The harsh contrast is going to be the explicitly religious connotation. That has nothing to do with that potentially alluding character.
We didn't pick up on that at all.
Cool. Again, that was not the intention.
Like, I have no idea who you guys are referencing for Drew's character.
Geralt of Rivia.
Yeah.
Who?
There are allusions.
From the Witcher video game.
Oh, I never.
In the Netflix series.
It was not.
Drew is obsessive.
I mean,
It was not intended to be in any way, shape, or form.
I just played one. I got bored.
Drew, definitive question. Yennefer is better than Triss. There you go.
Weird. I put my phone there. It is. Thank you for clarifying that.
Drew just actively muted himself in response to Noah's statement.
I didn't hear what he say.
What was that?
I said, Drew, let's end it once and for all. Yennefer is better than Triss. There we go.
Yeah, no, I can agree with that.
Especially after book knowledge. Book knowledge, Yennefer is the best. I will fight anyone who says differently. Okay, I've said my piece.
Something that I forgot to add after realizing everyone else said it. I am a human, and I'm 31.
Oh, should I include my race as well? That wasn't known.
Yeah.
Fallen Azabar, for clarification.
Yeah.
It escaped my mind. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and just after he made the pact with the guide, I think any time that the Raven Queen knows his location, she's probably going to try and throw him back into hell. So trying to avoid any of that.
All right.
I do have a question actually for you, Jason. Does
Oh,
Yorick does Yorick take particular offense to the phrase like "go to hell"?
Probably.
Okay.
I think a lot of the members of the party would.
Yeah.
That's going to be like a fun defining characteristic, like who gets mad at the phrase "go to hell" and who says "already been, thanks."
Yeah. Day is definitely the second one.
All right. It got kind of quiet. I think we are all set for this. It's the next morning. Those of you who were in the tavern, I believe it was everyone unless you specifically stated otherwise, you all wake up in a tavern very similar as to the one that is surrounding me now, and there is there are not a whole lot of small tables. This is a community center type deal, where there is just one very large table for people to sit at, and then someone will whenever you're done, you stand up and you walk outside, you go about your day. But it's a big enough table to sit a few people, and you guys have walked downstairs, and I believe it's time for breakfast. And those of you who were not inside, I believe that you probably would still look for some sort of substance, or run of it back up with people who you've met before. With that being said, the tavern is once again very well lit, and you can smell a little bit of alcohol that just sort of stayed down there from the previous evening. But the biggest thing that you can smell now is the smell of fresh pine whenever you walk down or walk into the building. And you can hear that there are cooks in the back who are making food and are sending them out in little carry like wrapped up little basket type deals. And there's all sorts of food that you can see people walking out of as they unwrap it, whether it's just bread or it's like a stuffed pie type deal, or some sort of sweet that was left over from the evening before. But even they have full cooked meals where it's you're walking around with this pouch that has a couple slices of meat, like slices of bacon, and I didn't say pocket bacon. I didn't say it. I didn't. Yeah, it's a couple of slabs of couple cuts of meat with some interesting fruits, some of which I believe I discussed last night. The Volenia, like the Volenia fruit, or the Alape fruit as well, is in there. But yeah, no, you guys see this, and already music is being played, and it's a time of merriment around you guys. Even still, just the next morning, no one seems to be particularly hungover, and everyone is once again in good spirits, and they're talking about what their plans are for the rest of the day, going back down to the festival and stuff. With that, the story is yours.
Are we going in initiative order at the moment?
I would think so.
I just want to just toss it around for a little bit. If it gets too chaotic, I'll go in initiative order.
Whose bed did I wake up under? That's my question.
There's a monster.
Can you please make a perception check?
I have a passive perception of 21, if that gets me anything.
No.
Yeah, you see oh my gosh, that's hysterical. You see when you wake up, you're sort of like almost jostled awake by the sound of the bed that you're sleeping under, and you see two legs swing off of the side of the bed. Obviously not like that, doesn't have socks or anything like that on, and you can make out a distinctive bluish color of the skin in the dim light, and they begin walking around and are still dressed enough as to where it is not indecent, but then does lace up the boots and just sort of sits on the edge of the bed with feet sort of dangling off the side, just a little bit.
I'd like to make a stealth roll, please.
Oh my god.
Please roll for stealth.
That's a 23.
But we've already said that he smells like butt, so this person may not be able to see Braden, but they can almost certainly smell it.
That's a fair point.
More than like, I do have a way of writing that out as to where the stealth is not ruined by your smell, which will come into play later. Casey, you may want to take a shower. Someone needs to introduce Brain to a shower at some point. But I believe the best solution for that is that the person would probably just sort of swing over the bed and crack the window open a little bit, thinking that it's just maybe a mouse that died in there that hasn't fully gone away.
So now we're here 23.
15.
Okay.
Heather, I'm so sorry.
Table buddies forever.
Hey,
you got the top bunk. It's great.
There is no top bunks. There's just a bed and floor.
Top bunk.
That's the joke.
All right.
Whose bed did I wake up in? Noah, you've given me power. You've allowed this.
Need to read my notes, see which character I need to put you near.
She doesn't have to be conscious. realized how it sounded as soon as I said it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wow.
What we call
That
it
was not
problematic
what I
today.
Erasing that.
It's recorded.
Yep.
New quotes
Uh-huh.
page.
Really?
That was bad.
No, you
Already
can't
added.
get-
Uh,
What I was trying to say is I don't have to have a conversation.
you know what? Let me go ahead and fucking write that one down as a first one.
She doesn't have to have a
Like,
conversation.
come on,
She doesn't have to be
you-
conscious.
You guys quoted me doing horrible things in space. We can quote Devin.
Oh my
All
god,
the
that was so
time.
bad.
It took you 3 minutes.
Okay, to be fair, I don't think I've ever said a bad quote before though, so
Mm,
Ooh, I'm hearing some dissension from the ranks there, Devin.
yeah.
She's also under the bed.
You
Yeah, I'm also under Librilla's bed right now.
No roll needed. Just put her there.
Party is just under Lorilla's bed. The whole party.
Introduction to the new members.
hey,
Can you get off my tail, please?
the underneath Lorilla's bed is just a clown car.
Trying to get my thoughts together and do some quiet journaling, okay?
Oh, stars, guide me to where I cannot smell this horrible, horrible smell.
Lorilla's bed sounds like a very bad like cover album of something.
It's Mouse Rat's new single.
followed by a lovely. Someone needs to make the meme of Lorilla's character as Dwight whenever Angela walks next to him. He goes, "Holy!"
Ah!
It's just like all the members who are under the bed. Devin, to answer your question, what a great question to derail.
Oh my god.
You wake up in the you do wake up in the bed of not a member of the party, but rather a townsperson who's there. One of the farmers who is in the civilian district, who is still very much so asleep, and you're able to walk out easily without them knowing anything.
Thanks.
Is Callan around? Is Callan eating breakfast at this moment?
Oh yeah.
Callan is also under the bed.
The bed of infinite holding.
We should take the bed with us on our adventures. I think it'd be
We just hold it up so the bottom's facing the bad guys and all the attacks just go underneath it.
Forget Leomun's tiny hut. Like, just take the bed.
Yeah,
Lorilla's large bed.
We've basically canonized this bed as being like the apartment in New Girl, that everyone has to have a turn sleeping under the bed at some point in the season.
No, you slept under the bed last night.
It's my turn.
Okay.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Callan, you're good with your hands, right?
In what way?
I have a
There's
project
this
I need help with.
I'm just gonna go away.
I had to balance the scales. I had to balance the scales.
We're off to a great start, guys. This is great.
Wow! Holy cow!
Season 6.
Down and out.
Season 6.
2 of them.
I'm just gonna.
Oh,
I'm just gonna say that was 100% intentional. I had to balance the scales.
Oh,
All right, anyway.
Noah with the nip
what do you
slip
mean?
taking
Yeah,
over
and then
the
Noah had a
character.
nip slip, so we're doing
Uh-oh.
great, guys.
I'm so sorry.
Recorded for all of internet to history to see.
Oh my goodness.
Oh god.
That got demonetized.
Algorithm.
Y'all, I can't believe I
No.
haven't had a single drink yet, and I'm already
Oh.
like this.
Dude, this season energy is good vibes.
Ugh,
All right, serious.
I hate it.
Callan, I need your help crafting something.
All right.
And well, I'm not physically strong enough to do it on my own.
bro, have you seen me? I'm not exactly a pinnacle of muscle over here.
Yes, but you have technique, which is almost as good. And I can trust you keeping a secret.
Oh, we're keeping secrets now. Oh, is that what friends do? Like, am I required to like keep your deepest, darkest secrets now?
Going to take a blood oath?
Well, no, I just want you to cover for me. I don't want anyone to miss me.
Oh, where are you going?
I have to go to a forge.
Okay, so you want me to be good with my hands, but you're asking me to keep my mouth shut? I'm really confused.
Look, man, the RP clearly didn't work out the way I wanted it to. Can we just restart this whole conversation?
Oh, please, I would be most appreciative of that.
Okay,
So listen, there's this bed. We're stealing it.
Ocean's
just
bed.
say, York is probably in the tavern at this point, actually eating. Somewhere close to Callan, I guess.
All right, listen, I don't care about secrets. I just need your help creating something, okay?
Hey, I said that I'd be here for you, man. So whatever you need, I got you. Is that okay?
We're going to putting together a few things I found in hell. It could get
Oh, boy.
interesting, so I need your assistance with dealing with any helly-welly shit.
Nothing that starts with "I'm putting together stuff I found from hell" ends well.
Well, I've got this going on now. And Noah, Chiron holds up his hand, and as you can see, tracing down from his middle finger where the wish ring was, there's a mark upon his hand.
Do I know this mark? Do I recognize it, Noah?
Well, you don't need to recognize it. I know what it is. It's the mark of pain. The genie that was freed from the ring. You know, the one we used to save the world.
Heck.
Nah, worse than that.
Yeah, well, that's about as bad as it gets for me.
When I asked, this is why I hesitated, and I didn't want to kill Set because of using the wishes frees pain from the ring. We didn't have a choice back there, but have you ever made a choice where even in knowing that it was the only option, that it was still wrong? It's exactly what happened here. Pain is going to be coming for me, and certainly the rest of Bardoon, because when I asked him what would satisfy his grudge against the one who trapped him in the ring, he point blank would not specify a body count up in the billions.
You realize that we literally just stopped that from happening in at least one sense, and you unleashed something else that will do it in a different one.
Yes, it was. That's why I didn't want to use the ring.
But
if I had known what the ring was capable of, I wouldn't have picked the damnable thing up.
But
there's a group of 4 halflings who are sitting a little bit more down on the table, who just look up and over at you, and then go back to eating whenever you start shouting.
Will you keep your voice down?
Sorry.
Look, I understand. It was a kind of deal with the problem that we have now, and then hopefully try to deal with the problem that comes later. I get that. It was pragmatism at its finest, but dadgummit, Chiron, you're really I've been your friend for like 2 days and you're already making me regret it.
Well, I'm sorry, and for what it's worth, if you're my friend, you can call me Kai.
All right, well.
Either way, I have serious preparations to do.
Hey, really quick, before we get started on that, are you still down for what we've discussed before? About
yes. Of course, I knew Hopper the longest. And it's still
Good.
kind
I
of
want-
hard to talk about, but
I
want-
need to do that, and I'll also need to make a stop by my own monastery while we're there. It's on the same continent, so it'll be fairly simple to do. But that's all that I need personally, is I just need to be able to go back myself for a few things. But otherwise, I'm here to help.
does your monastery have a library?
Yes, it does.
How old is your monastic order?
How old is death?
Fairly old, I suppose.
Yeah.
Well then, sounds like a perfect place to research how we're going to beat pain when he comes. So our mission now is threefold. Prepare for pain, return you to your monastery, and mourn a good friend.
You think we can get anybody else? I mean, most everybody has been up and leaving, or abandoned us. Our numbers are not what they were.
Doesn't
Although
matter.
Yorick said he's down to help out. Isn't that right, Yorick?
Yeah. If you guys will have me, of course. And for the record, Kyron, I know exactly what it's like to make a choice like that.
Can I roll an insight check on that?
Sure.
16.
Yep, he's very forthcoming.
I motion Yorick over to the table.
All right.
Come and
Well-
sit down.
Does anybody else walk downstairs at this point?
I don't believe I was in the inn, correct?
What's
No,
Correct.
you
Didn't think
were
so.
still out drinking
Yep.
with your Bale Blood bros.
I guess I would have made my way towards the tavern from the farmer woman's house.
Is there a bar in the tavern? I'm assuming.
Yeah,
Just,
and
standing
they do serve alcohol at the Travelers Inn. The bakery that you guys visited last season is not yet open. They're more of like a late night bakery.
Okay.
Yeah.
On the rightmost far of the bar, Athanasius is having breakfast alone.
Okay.
I would say about this time, Lucretia is coming down the stairs, more stumbling, clumsily. And then when she gets to the bottom, try and walk it off like nothing happened at all.
Right. Okay. Lorilla.
At the sight of Lucretia, Callan, I'm like visibly shaken, because like the only satyr I've ever known was Hopper, and so seeing another one so soon is kind of like, wait, do I recognize? Are they wearing monk like vestments or anything? Like, do I get that?
No, she's not a monk in the traditional sense. She just tends to be very quick with her hands and very sturdy. So
Okay,
she can
yeah,
go
yeah.
to any monastery or anything. That's
Gotcha. No, just curious. Just curious.
Lorilla, are you heading down as well?
Yes, I'm going down to find some food.
Okay. Brain, that means that you do see this person walk out of the room.
I'm gonna give it about 10 minutes just in case they forgot something.
Okay.
Would an average ape think that far ahead?
We're
You're
not.
not,
doing this.
you're not dealing with your
God.
average goblin
This
warrior.
is exactly how it went
This
with
is how
Swoop.
season 1 through 4 was.
You hiding under a bed?
No,
No. Oh, would you have the
that was me hiding in
Uh,
the closet.
would you be
Oof.
able to think of that idea on your own with your Kinku brain, you stupid little bird? That was basically seasons 1 through 2.
There
Why
you
you
go.
guys gotta dunk on Kinkus, guys? Come on.
I
I mean, they literally can't think
They
for
can't
themselves.
think.
right. They physically can't think for themselves. That's their curse.
part of
No,
this.
I
Sad.
know. It's very sad.
Yeah.
I made a Kiku character called Christopher Squawkin.
All right, we're moving on. We're moving on.
It's not a
Um,
joke, by the way. He's like my 6th backup character.
Helped.
See, don't make backup characters because then you won't die because you have absolute faith in your character. All right.
Oh man, I really want to make one of the new race, like the frog people. You know what I'm talking about?
Rug?
And name him like Sir Ian McCroken.
Mm.
Which frog people? There's like 4.
The grub.
The ones that actually look like frogs, so that we could call
Okay.
him Sir Ian McCroken.
Yeah, I was looking at making one of those into a paladin.
Okay, Chrono
Oh.
Trigger.
But yeah,
The vast majority of people are downstairs, and Brain will be there shortly. Yes, you all are able to happenstantially find each other in the tavern.
Quick question. I don't know how we want to, or RP this, or if it's almost like an assumptive thing. Athanasius is off to himself. I mean, are we going to have this that he needs to be brought in and introduced to the party, or is this almost assumptively, yep, he's a part of the party?
No. He still will need to be introduced to the party.
Okay,
And-
sorry,
and
I
we'll
just
discuss it a little bit.
I just wanted that clarification up front because that would
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah.
affect how I would continue forward.
I mean, you're listening to us talking about like needing members to stop something. We're not exactly being like super quiet.
Oh, right.
So like, I mean,
No, right. I just didn't know if we were going to have that happen or not. So,
RP, go Drew, do it.
Okay. Am I good to say
hasn't been
my
teed
thing now?
Yeah, go ahead, Kit.
Cool. That's one way for everyone else. Over the night, was I able to get that more official like oath or swear or like some sort of magical binding? Or do I need to do this and at another time?
Yeah, you're probably able to get that.
All right, cool. I just wanted to make sure that was official.
I'll let you work out the wording on that. Yeah, and you and I
Alright.
will discuss the wording on that. That's
Yeah,
no
we'll
problem.
have to discuss that. Cool. I would like to head wherever the heck the party is.
Okay, they're all going to be in the Traveler's
That's
Inn.
right, the end. Yep.
All right.
All right.
And everyone is grabbing their miscellaneous food that they've ordered, and it's sort of like you go up to a window of it, and there's a person standing there at the window to take orders of food. Din, are you going to order food?
Does the food cost?
Yeah, but you may be able to persuade something.
Oh god dang it.
Does food cost? Eternal.
All right, then I will clean myself up before heading up there because I should have done that with Mending a while ago.
Sure. So you walk in with your mended clothes, and yeah, there's a person who's standing there at the far end where this little window thing is, and the gentleman who's working there, he's wearing a light, like almost like a paper white shirt, like a yellowed paper, that sort of thing, shirt. It looks to be in pristine condition. It's not like it's stained, and he is wearing very dark brown pants, as well as a gray apron. It goes over him. You can tell the guy is pretty old. He looks to be about in his 50s. He's got sort of a longer beard than what mine is, coming down to about his chest, and he just seems to be walking back and forth. He seems to have no problem with keeping up with orders. He's passing it through the window just fine, taking orders just as quickly as what they come in.
All right, then I'll walk up and I'll try and grab his attention.
Yes. How can I help you today?
Hello, old timer. How much is the cost of a meal for one person cost?
The cost of a meal for one?
For one.
Well, for you,
Din, I don't believe it will be that much of a problem. And he sort of raises some glasses and then puts them at the edge of his nose. And now his appearance makes a little bit more sense. You can see a twinkling of the eyes and the semblance of the dark brown pant with the now cloud white shirt makes a little bit more sense.
Do I know you?
Well, you called me an old timer, but seems as though your mind is going even faster than my own.
Oh.
Yes,
Oh.
we have met before, Din.
Oh.
You were a little less hellish the last time we spoke. My name is Cabro Lee.
I knew he was gonna say it. I knew he was gonna say it.
It was very good to see you, sir.
I'm surprised to see you here.
Oh, well, yes, you have to find your odd jobs every now and then, but you know, it's the life that we live. So, Din, what is your new goal? What is your plan?
Well, I don't know for the rest of the party. Some seem to be missing. He looks around. I'm off to Salon Pravati, I believe, unless things have changed in location since I have last here.
It is in my understanding that the world is almost exactly the way that you all left it, in the sense of the continents still being in the places that they were, the cities being in the place that they were. The only thing that you may have a problem with is that, well, it seems as though your party has dissolved.
Yes, it does seem that way. Well, we have yet another problem to solve, so at the very least, I'll be headed off to Salon Bravati to get some old belongings to fix that problem from Yuto. But that is an endeavor in itself.
Some old belongings, you say? What would those be?
Old relics. So they got left behind.
For someone who is as cryptic as what you are, I believe I may know what you're talking about. And I do wish you the best. Please have a meal on the house and do not mention my presence to anyone else. I came here specifically to speak to you and to wish you well.
Well, thank you.
It is good to see you, Din. It is
you as
very
well.
good to see you, and I do wish you sincere luck.
I doubt I'll ever have it, but I'll take it.
He turns around and removes the glasses and sort of ruffles his beard to make it look a little bit more scraggly, and pushes his graying hair back and grabs a large little wrapped basket thing for you and sets it, and he gestures over to the side for coffee, juices, and water, as well as alcohol and mixed drinks as well, if you would like to partake.
I guess I'll just go grab like a tea or something. I don't know.
Huh.
All right.
Yeah.
What?
Yep, that's good.
Right.
So right about that time, Day comes busting into the tavern and heads up to the bar. Excuse me, so I'm pretty sure you haven't seen like a giant like anchor like from a ship lying around anywhere, have you?
Yes, I was wondering who this belonged to, and he pulls it out from behind the thing, and it's got a nice little yellow ribbon now tied to it as well.
You're stronger than you look.
Well, I may be old, but I still hit the gym, and I still smack some people every now and then. And then he just passes it to you, sort of finagling it through the little window.
That, and I just toss it one-handed over my shoulder.
I think I danced with that person last night. Holy crap.
Which
I believe
person?
everyone danced with that person last night.
Who are you talking about? I didn't dance with anyone last
Oh,
night.
hey, friends!
Hey.
Hi!
Um,
Over here. Oh, little monk guy over here. Ah, you're the best dancer.
That is quite literally the first time anybody has said that about me.
Well, it seemed
Well,
like it might have been the first time you ever danced.
Yeah, that would be true.
Callan, you're becoming very popular around town.
I'm not used to that.
Have you
Callan,
seen the elephant? The Loxodon anywhere?
she left
That
actually.
Didn't even
and,
get a name.
You're probably
Uh,
not a proper one.
Okay, that was cryptic, but cool. Mind if I take a seat here?
Sure. Here,
Sure.
I guess we move aside. Are we at a table? What's the shape of the table?
It was like a communal table, right?
Your table, round table, long table. What are we talking
We're in a
here?
big, we're in a big old round table.
It's the D&D table, y'all.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. So I guess Kai will move a chair from between Callan and himself so they can sit down.
Thanks, love.
Hey, I didn't catch your name last night. I'm Callan.
I'm Day.
I'm Chiron. It's tis nice to meet you.
You too, dude.
Yorick.
And I'm Marilla.
Oh, hi, Lorilla.
When did you come? When did you get down here?
I'm Lurda, as I set my plate down.
Lorilla, as you speak your name, you smell a familiar smell.
He comes.
As Brain comes waddling down the stairs, like feet just audibly slapping on the wood. He doesn't wear shoes. No one ever taught him how to tie them, because he's like, that's just a lot of effort, really. And so it gives you pause as you watch this little thing stumble over to the bar next to Drew. I forget your character's name. I'm so sorry. I can't remember it off the top of my head. But next to your character,
Athanasius.
like climbs, like bodily, like hoists himself up with all of this shit on his back, like onto the stool, and like stands to put himself like at regular person height for the bar.
Oh my god, adorable.
You're meaning the table, right?
No, he's at the bar.
Drew said
Oh, just at the window to be able to order. Gotcha.
Drew said he was specifically off alone at the bar by himself.
Yeah.
You can
There's
see
like
you can see a clearly disgusted look on Athanasius' face.
That's fair.
He if he does notice, he's not gonna say anything about it. He's just gonna like pound the table a few times, as a request for service.
Oh my god, this is gonna be chaos.
I noticed you coming down, and I'm just keeping an eye.
Oh, hey, I haven't seen a goblin since I got here.
Oh, yeah. They're pretty rare in these parts of the world, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, I
Yes.
traveled with one for a while. Well, a goblin gnome. A noblin?
Noblin sounds
Noblin.
appropriate.
So, Day,
They made me this horn.
it was Day, right?
Yeah.
You seem to be quite light on your feet. What was that? Just the alcohol, or are you normally like that?
Well, I mean, I was a sailor for 25 years. So,
Really?
well,
Do you-
10 years. 25. Yeah.
There's a big difference.
Yes.
One of those things where, kind of feels like it was your whole life.
I was also a sailor for quite some time myself. Where would you normally sail?
Oh, all over, really. Not anywhere in particular.
Well,
Right.
do you still have a ship?
Anywhere. What's it like?
Sorry, what?
I've never sailed anywhere. What's it like?
You're a Genasi, aren't you?
Yeah,
Water Genasi. And you've never sailed.
and I've never been anywhere.
That is pretty ironic, I must say.
That's amazing. We had a few Genasis in our crew. Very, very handy to have on board. You'd find quick and easy passage, like in a heartbeat.
Well, that's good to know.
But
You-
if you ever want to sail, I would be happy to show you the ropes.
Be happy to learn. Thanks.
The
You have a ship then, Yorick.
Do what?
You have a ship then, Yorick.
Newly acquired, yes.
Wonderful. Then this might have been fate.
Wait, you have a ship?
Where did this come from? And why would we not made aware of this when we were trying to make travel plans a few minutes ago?
After you guys have heard the beating of a table for the better part of 5 minutes, the food deliverer comes up and, how may I help you, good Sir Goblin? We are always happy to serve such fine folk, but may I ask, before I take your order and bring you some food, may I ask that you do not beat on the table?
Why?
It is just a disruption to the lovely breakfast that we are having this morning. It is.
But how do I
This
get
is a little- you can approach me, sir. I'd be more than happy to assist you. If you need anything, please come up to the window, and I'll be sure to help you up there. But since I'm here,
I can't see over the window.
oh, that's very fine. If you would just if you would just shout my name, then I will gladly come and help.
What's your name?
You may call me Kay.
While this exchange goes on, Athanasius continues to look over and stares in disgust at this creature beside him, muttering, fine people, and to where both of them, including the barkeep, could see, and he attempts to go back to eating, but continues to look over in disgust.
Touches
Brain
the
actually
sword.
farts as the paladin does his double take. Like facing Caberly, so he's right there. I'm so sorry, man. Just farts in your face.
What kind of damage roll does Caberly have to make now?
Hold on. In like, not quite literally in
In
one
your
sense.
general direction.
In the general direction.
But yes,
he doesn't react.
If you would like to make an order, sir, I'd be glad to assist.
Bring me food, please.
Bring you food, of course. Are you on any sort of dietary restriction? Lactose intolerance.
What?
All right. So we'll assume you're not lactose intolerant. Vegetarian.
What?
Sir, cease to insult the man and get him some food.
But first, I need to ask if he's vegan. We have a lovely vegan menu.
What is that?
All right, very well. Some meat, yes.
Yeah.
Very good, very good.
Mhm.
All right, and good sir, I will bring that to you momentarily. Okay.
But
I do have to go fetch it.
Okay.
So to be clear, everybody but Athanasius, Brain, and Lucretia is currently at our table.
I am not yet.
Well,
That's
dinner-
about to change.
I
I
had
just
never-
completely inserted myself into the mix.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
I did not want to interrupt, so I didn't say anything.
This really is a small room. It is about the size of the tavern space in which we normally play, to where the table does take up this much space, and like the little bar-ish thing where there's where Drew and Case you're sitting, is like a little food table that we've got over here on this side. It's about that, but of course it's a little bit taller.
I would have waved Den over, having seen Den come in. Since
So
he's a familiar
Den
face.
would still be at the drinks and food table eating enough for 7 people.
He's eating for 7.
You would see him like pick up a tea container and go.
What's with the not to use this
Yeah,
word
you-
like
you-
judgmentally, but what,
really-
widow over there?
Yes, he's
don't want to know.
kind of the Yeah, he's right. You don't want to know.
That's
But
a
he is one of
normal
us.
He is a curious type.
He's we're all curious types here, my friend.
Exactly, and that's
Gotcha.
what makes this party so wonderful. We're
So
all
as-
outcasts.
As I was saying, you have a ship?
Oh,
Yes, let's
right.
take that.
Yeah, he reaches into his pouch and just pulls out this ship in a bottle.
Enchanted.
So this is my winter solstice gift by that jolly fellow in the bakery.
So this is
Tanas?
we just turned into Pirates of the Caribbean.
Sure.
Sea shanties.
I don't even know what a Caribbean is, but
Sorry, that was meta. My apologies. I had just had to.
It's the thing you
So-
hook on your pack.
but he made it seem
That was
like this
good.
is no ordinary ship in a bottle. So
I've
I have
actually had
hopes.
stuff like this.
This is the Black Pearl.
Oh yeah?
Yeah,
So how's it work?
No
I've
idea.
heard of it. I didn't say
And
anything
where
about
do you
it.
plan on taking
Oh.
that vessel? Lucretia asks as she takes a link of sausage straight off your half-finished plate.
And
Um,
I slowly
All I
put
heard
the-
was eat your sausage off your half-finished plate.
I put the bottle back in my pack.
Can we help you?
Hmm?
That's
hold on, he's
still-
getting to it. He's getting to
Working
it.
on his mic.
Oh, sorry.
A room.
I'm trying to figure out how to take the mute off.
I
Got
think,
it.
I think you got it. You got it.
My headphones.
I think you got it. We can hear you fine now.
Yeah, he's back on mute.
Nope,
Oh,
nope.
never mind. You're gone again.
I guess it's that push to talk, but I heard him great that time.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
put
you
his
did.
headphones and his mic on.
I have not moved the sound over to my headphones yet.
Well, that worked though. The
Yeah.
mic at least.
Just do it like this. Y'all can hear me like this better.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very clear.
We heard you fine when you had him on normally.
Yeah, but I don't think he could hear when he had them on. He had to move the sound over to
Oh, okay.
project through his headphones.
So Lucretia is actually going to come up beside Yorick and ask, "So where are you taking this vessel?" As she grabs a link of sausage straight off his half-finished plate.
He puts the bottle back in his pack. And Kellen, I believe you said.
Yeah. Can we help you?
Yes, looking to hitch a ride somewhere.
Well,
Great.
somewhere we can take you somewhere, sort of, because we need a ride for that. And that is what my friends and I were discussing.
Is this a private discussion? I just sit down without you answering.
I don't think so anymore. Not
I mean, I can
anymore.
totally leave if you need me to get out of here.
No. You've
Actually,
already
we were-
participated. And
We were literally just talking about how we need people because many of our party has left for personal reasons or otherwise. We had a few die in hell. It's been kind of a rough couple of weeks. So
Yeah,
I
hell's a rough
mean,
trip.
The phrase "die
wait,
in hell."
Solstice has
wait,
been
you-
that crazy?
that was before Solstice. But you've been to hell? Well, Tiefling. Yeah, true.
I mean,
The phrase
That
"die in
seems
hell"
incredibly racist, but
gets Athanasius' attention.
hey, if it's between the two of us, then tiefling to tiefling, kind of relate.
oh,
Who
right,
do you
right.
just call your descent from?
That's a little personal, don't you think?
Not really.
Oh, who's your parents? That's very personal. Yes.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but like, I just met you.
The bigger question is, what is that smell?
And this is crazy, but what's that smell?
And
That
who's your
goblin-
parents?
Well, I mean, not really my
Oh.
parents. I'm just asking, what kind of magic can you do as a tiefling?
It still feels real personal. It's based on bloodline. I just
Look, if you're going to be joining the journey, then we need to know what you can do, right?
am
Oh,
I
is
going
she
to get the
joining?
third degree from the rest of you?
I mean,
This
it
is
just-
barely even the first degree. This is your application for the team.
Is this
It'd be
one
nice to
always
know
like
we're
this?
not- we're not like gonna grill you, but it'd be nice to know what you can do. Hi, my name is
I
Kellen.
just-
I manipulate death and I hit things with my size. There, that's like a.
I mean, I thought the giant anchor I have over my shoulder. It's kind of an
That is a
indicator.
huge asset.
It is. But
And
better
the
question.
thatch, and I mean, and these.
Yes.
Yes, those are
Very
very
good.
Yes. Yes, those will be great assets. Also,
Great. Sorry.
who can you're a ship captain though, right?
Me?
Yes, is that what you
No.
said? No.
No, I said I used to be a sailor.
Oh.
Never a captain.
I was technically a captain.
Well, good. If we're going to be sailing on a magic ship in a bottle, at least we'll have a captain and an experienced sailor who either sailed for 10 or 25 years, but it'll come in handy.
How are we gonna fit into the bottle?
Magic bullshit.
Well, we're actually going to stuff you in if you eat another one of my sausages.
Yorick, we need tact right now. We need
Um,
people.
The Kay approaches and brings brain food and passes a bottle of mead off to you, Drew, and just sort of pats you on the back. Very, very sorry for the bold assumption. I would advise going to sit at that other table if you are so uncomfortable. Unfortunately, I don't believe there's any point in me trying to get him to leave.
He almost unhinges his jaw and just begins shoveling food down his gullet.
Is this like the dwarf from Artemis
Oh
Fowl?
no! Stop! No! Stop stealing my thoughts!
Mulch Diggums.
Stop stealing my thoughts, man.
Did you just like make a cartoon character?
Maybe we'll see.
You
Are you just gonna be like
don't-
flattened and you just spring back up
Hey,
one day?
Drew was asking a question.
I'm sorry.
That accent. It seems familiar.
Oh, why? I rail from the lands of Sal and Pravati. I have recently moved up here. I'm just
By
doing
the-
odd jobs right now.
By the name of
K, you may call him.
K. Does the phrase Lee mean anything to you?
No, I believe I have a few cousins who went by Lee back way back when, well before I was born. But no, sorry.
He chuckles to himself. Yes, trickster god. I'll see you again another day. Gets up from the table, and casually glances by at the members of the party.
Oh, hello.
He gives a good hand to the chest.
So formal for someone who spun around in circles with me for a solid hour last night.
Did everyone dance with you but me?
I can guarantee you he did not dance with you.
At this point, Dave's just kind of assuming that everybody's danced with her.
Well,
That's
I can assure you that was not I. Well,
Oh, maybe it would have helped you a bit.
well, good day.
Oh, no.
He
Wait,
he
good sir.
begins. Yes.
You wouldn't happen to be looking to travel anywhere, would you?
Are you
Well-
just inviting everyone now?
We need the numbers, Yorick.
What's his father's name? Don't forget to ask.
Wait,
Well-
hold on. Your dad is the devil you draw your blood from?
And was that special?
Yes, kind of, because I just got mine randomly.
Again, good day.
No,
You might want to catch him. He's running away from you.
Begins to walk towards the door.
please, sir, wait.
He seems like one of those religious types. I don't know if he would do well
Sir,
with you.
sir, they want to stick us in a bottle.
You can see the just exasperation just and he turns around. Are you going to waste my time?
Probably.
depends.
No.
As he finishes, "Are you going to waste my time?" You just hear this loud, resonating burp from across the room. It's finished.
I must know.
The meal
Is that
came
I
up.
must know, is that creature among
Not
your
with-
band?
I've
not
never
with-
seen that.
Goblin.
If it was, we'd have left it in hell.
Oh my.
Oh, okay. Not
No,
feeling
That's
great
a
about
little
this party
harsh.
anymore.
That's a little
Noah.
harsh, then.
Question. I have proficiency in religion. Would I recognize any iconography or anything on Athanasius?
Please make a religion check. Yes.
23.
Definitely. Yeah, you'll see his again his incredibly ornate greatsword with a flame as on the pommel, and as he turns around to you, you see a very small painted flaming red rose.
So I would recognize his deity or his order or something like that.
Yeah,
You
yeah, I would say, yeah, you would recognize the order.
Yeah, you would certainly recognize the order of the Flaming Rose. Is that right? Flaming Rose?
Yes, and again, it's like the Temple of the Goddess of Jazir is known, but I guess it's good that you rolled high enough. But this order is supposed to be known, particularly among the religiously devout.
You worship Jazira. You're part of the Order of the Flaming Rose.
Well, a part of is one way to say it. I am, in fact, the torchbearer.
That's wow. Holy wow. That's really amazing. If you don't mind me saying, we could certainly use someone of your caliber. We are going to be journeying, and frankly, we have quite a large problem on our hands, and we could certainly use. I'm guessing by what I know of your order, you're into vanquishing evil.
Yes, stomping out injustice wherever I can find it. To feed this here blade for my own honor and my goddess.
Um.
Oh, he's serious, isn't he?
Yes.
Yes.
How does vanquishing a powerful being who has sworn that his vengeance will strike down billions sound to you?
Well, will there be more than one?
I mean, I'm sure there will be on our mission to get there, but by vanquishing one, you save the lives of thousands upon thousands of innocent people.
Well, I still need many lives.
Well, again, like I said, there's probably a lot to be had on that path.
If I may interject.
By all
what you're-
means.
What you're saying is wherever evil lurks, you must destroy, correct?
I must feed this blade. So yes.
Feed the blade.
Then
Yes.
an evil entity who would cover the world in darkness and death and despair, probably worth at least one soul on that sword.
Rain calls for Kay again.
Approaches.
More?
More.
Kay certainly will take some pity, and will we'll now find a little bit of humor, and we'll pass you the rolled up food, and we'll gesture to the table for you to sit. I do believe that it is slightly more of your height. Maybe you would be more comfortable, of course.
He turns around and he climbs up on a chair and tries to sit down and finds that it's still like roughly this height on him.
Oh,
So he climbs up onto the actual table itself and sits cross-legged to again unhinge his mouth and just shove the entire package down, basically.
And now he's at our
Does he
table. Is
chew?
that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Ah, yes. Another.
Din, I think we found a bigger eater than you.
Is that a challenge? Honest
No,
one
not right
honest one
now.
person's meal right now.
No, stop.
Our
No,
food was
please.
already expensive enough. We don't need to feed another 30 people or so.
I must know when will we be going?
As soon as possible, I would
Well,
assume.
I think the question before when we're going is where we're going.
You don't even know
you-
where you're going.
Well,
Because we have a
you
number
all-
of locations to hit. As well,
You all,
Kyron here made a wonderful decision.
yes.
If you don't mind, we have a place to stop, and it would be fairly close to here. We being myself and Kyron, planned upon, well,
Morning.
visiting the monastic clan of a fallen friend, paying respects, and while there, traveling to my monastery. I have need of stopping by there, and also our library may provide insight, and frankly the head of my order, who has been around for quite some time, may provide insight into information that we need to track down this character that we have. Like I said, it's not simply for personal reasons, but there's some stuff that we wish to take care of. But after that,
What continent is on?
Aborigine.
Aborigine.
Yes. I would love to visit this holy place. He says this emotively. I mean, a complete shift in tone, a complete shift in fate. He just sort of posture, almost giddy. In fact.
Is it
Oh, he does smile.
He pays no attention to the comment.
does his joy seem genuine?
Insight for that one.
Yeah, all right. All right, I'll roll again. Another insight check. Okay, that's +9. That would be a solid 27, sir.
Yes, he is exceptionally giddy at the thought of being able to visit somebody else's holy site and being able to pray to his gods.
Well, good man.
You all hear a large a bang at the door, and the door just sort of flies open. And this very large creature, easily 8 foot tall, begins to walk in, and you can see that it is a very large centaur. And this centaur is clothed in garments of a bright red and is wearing a significant amount of armor. And it's clear from what you all can see that all of you were somewhat a part of the festival the evening prior, that this is some sort of one of the royal guards of the prince that you all saw last night.
Athanasius turns and gives a hearty, solitary salute, and turns back to where he was.
If I may please have everyone's attention. I come bringing grave news. The king, Roland Runeslice, passed early this morning. His oldest son, D. Runeslice, is now the king of Hightower. The prince is insisting that this not dampen any of the festivities or the celebrations that will continue for the following weeks. But he is perplexed at the, and of course greatly saddened by the news of his father's passing. He is looking to enlist a group of people to assist with at least just verifying that his father passed from natural causes. King Roland was a good man, but he was in fact very old. I do not believe that there is much to this, but I have been tasked with giving out these orders to any of the people of the town, any of the visitors, that if you have any information about King Roland's death, that you please come forward.
I raise my hand. I'd say I am no doctor, but I have spent my life in the study of death. If I may be of service, I would gladly offer it.
I also
I will also offer my service.
Yeah,
Never mind. God damn it.
May we see the body?
Certainly, please, if you all have an interest in assisting and you have a genuine use of my time, I do encourage you to please visit the High Tower by end day, and we will let you examine the body at that point. But I will bid you all farewell. I have many other places to visit. Thank you.
Yeah, what were you trying to say?
It's okay. It doesn't matter now.
I also heard
No.
that you volunteered your service.
Yeah, no, it's all right. Okay.
I'm sorry, kid. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, I'm trying to not interrupt you guys. I'm trying to interrupt as little as possible because I've a habit of doing that.
It's hard to do when we're all in separate places.
Yeah. No.
What were you saying, Kit? I can back that up a little bit.
All I was gonna say is like, I would raise my hand because Den can speak with the dead. Always, that sort of thing.
Oh, that's right.
Perfect.
That's why Chiron was volunteering.
Did anyone else speak with Prince D? I did, and he said the king only had but a cold.
Well, that does sound like
An
Well, he's
elderly
old and has a cold. That's a pretty common form of death.
Either way, it's an easy mission to take, though, right?
It was very warm last night.
We must see.
That it was, but certainly not. Nothing we do will ever be easy. We all
must
know.
see if this death was just or unjust.
How did he die from cold if it was
right. So
Ignore him.
it didn't even
If it-
no, I don't
if the death is unjust, will you feed it to the sword? Is that right?
No, I will pledge 10 more just deaths in his honor.
Well, then where would we go to check his death?
I said
the castle?
the castle of Hightower
Right.
at sunset, right?
By end day.
In day, sorry. The voice in my head says.
Sorry.
That's good dialogue. That's good inner
I
dialogue. I
understand
like
that.
that.
I have too many of those myself.
Same.
You guys have voices in your head?
Yes, I have 6.
Yeah, we were.
That's quite impressive, honestly.
One is screaming, 1 second opinion. One's always cursing at me. One has never been proud of me for my entire life. The other one's taking tunes.
Sounds like having in-laws.
Okay. Sounds like a whole lot of fun.
Well, you've definitely got me beat with that. Anyway, let's go to the
It's
castle.
Welcome to life.
It's easy coin. We'll
Before
need
we
coin
go,
on
we
the
should
journey.
probably finish out our planning.
True. So
We can do that on the way.
Did they actually say that they were paying us?
We will demand payment. That's how it works.
That is how it works.
investigations always cost coin, I believe. But still,
We could just, a guy died. We could do it out of the goodness of our hearts.
No.
Indeed.
I agree with you, but there's a greater good out there right now, and
The greatest
Sorry.
good is justice. We must seek justice in this matter.
Well,
Either
the Winter
way-
Solstice
Okay,
Festival is
I was on the
already-
same page until he went on the justice spiel.
Well,
We kind of just saved the
winter
world
solstice day
twice for
has
free, so we kind of like something out of it this
Well,
time.
I'm not. Either way, I still think we should investigate. If we can give Prince D some form of closure, that is preferable than just leaving, right?
I'm surprised you don't have a cleric to handle this.
May not have,
I
they may
remain
not have
very
regular
silent.
clerics here. I mean, they're kind of out in the middle of nowhere.
There's a church right down the road with a cleric in it.
Well, I don't. Why isn't
Indeed.
that? That isn't suspicious then.
All the more
Did
to
you-
investigate.
Did you catch who the temple was dedicated to?
Yes.
Who to?
Yes.
Noah?
Uh,
Who was the temple to?
No, it was to everyone, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
To the
Yeah.
unknown god of Rome.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
the temple just has a big coexist sticker on it.
It's a big mirror.
It's whoever you
so
want
yes,
it to
let's
be in
go.
the pie.
Well. So, are we going, or are we going to finish planning?
I'd rather not
go.
plan in the middle of the street.
We're not in the middle of the street. We're in the tavern.
Well,
Right, I'm saying
everyone
not
else has
plan
heard
in the
our
middle of the
plan
street, so
thus
plan
far
here.
anyway.
Why does it matter who hears this plan?
Well, it doesn't. It's more comfortable to plan when you're sitting down, isn't it?
It's also easier.
Honestly, with the weather going to be the way it is, with it snowing for the next 2 weeks during the festival, we probably won't be able to leave until after the festival anyways. So
This is true.
what we can do is we can investigate, we can take some time, we can stock up on supplies and provisions and set out after the festival. So we've got plenty of time just to do what we need to do, and why not investigate?
Where are we setting out to?
Who said you were
I
coming
don't,
along?
I don't think we're
Who?
inviting you.
I'm sorry. I didn't quite catch your name.
I think he's the torchbearer person's son.
That does make sense. You guys were
Is a
sitting
resemblance.
Yeah,
Don't
no,
you
you're already part of
dare.
the party, right? Like together.
Don't you dare associate us.
Little
This
child, can we?
creature.
You were buying him food, right?
Athanasius storms away in disgust and walks outside.
Ooh,
Oh,
that one's a
wonderful.
little touchy.
You wouldn't
yes.
fit in with this band of outcasts anyway.
If he's offended by green people, I mean, I'm kind of gonna have to take offense to that too.
Right, as you
Fair
should.
point.
Was there something I said?
No.
Yes.
I really
Hey,
appreciate
little guy. What's your name?
that.
What?
What's your name?
That's not my name.
What is your name?
No, it's not.
Will you tell me your name?
Is like
Chiron points to himself and says, Chiron. And then he points to unknown goblin and goes, and indicates, like kind of points at his chest.
He makes a sound that sounds kind of like a cat coughing up a hairball.
is there something that doesn't sound like you're going to die that we can call you?
I think we now have we have a descriptor for the smell.
At least know who it's attached to. Can you write?
Can I
Well,
what?
Hold. And Chiron pulls out a quill and a little ink pot and a little piece of parchment, and he writes Chiron. And then he says, points at the piece of paper, then points at himself and says Chiron. And then he just kind of, can you? And then mimics like a writing motion with his hands.
Brain like takes the ink pot in his hands and like looks at it, and then he goes to like take a sip.
No.
No.
Well,
What can we call you?
He makes the hairball noise again.
Do you have another name that we can pronounce?
No.
Okay.
Hey,
No, would you?
I've got it.
May I interject?
Yes.
Okay. Din would like to get up and say he's going to go find Avo because he thinks he passed out of the church and walk out and go find the paladin. But
Okay.
he does not want to be part of the goblin conversation. So, thank you.
All right.
I've
Wait.
got it.
I think I have a solution to this.
Wait, Yorick was
What
saying
is
something.
not your name?
Yorick was saying something.
Back on the ships I used to work on, we would just give people nicknames, and that's what we would go by. You know, I was very lanky in my young age, so they called me Stretch. You know, that sort of thing. Any nicknames someone can come up with?
So
Stinky
big brain,
Pete.
the big brain over here. How will you be paying your tab?
What?
Brain works.
Brain works.
Brain. I like it.
Brain.
Well, I'm glad that brain works, but how will he be paying for
I
his
got it.
meal?
I got it. I'll take care of it.
I'm also kind of partial to Stinky Pete.
Brain. Goblin.
What?
Which?
Brain now.
Well, we should ask him instead of just telling him.
That's just
How
kind of
would-
how nicknames work. You just get
That is
stuck
not
with
how
them.
nicknames work.
Yeah.
You get stuck with them.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Out of your control.
All right.
Listen, that torch guy, he's a very bad parent. My parents usually buy my food for me.
You had parents? Half of this party.
I'll have you know, Kai had a very loving relationship with his parents
Can't relate.
before they were murdered.
Can't relate.
Oh man.
It
All
just
right,
goes to
guys.
show you, you can
Had
have good
parents.
Guys, it's 8:57. We're gonna go ahead and take a little bit of a wee break real quick. I encourage you guys to watch the YouTube video I just sent. It's the sound that Brain makes whenever pronouncing his goblin name.
Oh no.
But yeah, we're gonna take a little bit of a break. Then we're gonna come back. You guys are either going to plan and then go and potentially investigate this king's death.
Really quick, I want to share the story that I shared to you, Noah, about my friend. I was talking to a buddy of mine, and I had told him I was playing D&D. And after we finished up, I was like, okay, I'm back, finished up D&D. And he asked me what it was like. I told him we had 13 players. He almost choked. And then he's like, how long does adventuring take? That's more adventurers than the Fellowship that took the ring to Mordor. And I was just like, yeah.
But the same amount as the party that went to find Smog.
By law, we are required to incorporate as a economic entity.
Yeah, we have to unionize at some point.
There's a pass-through tax bracket that they got to levy on us, or else the IRS.
We have a healthcare plan?
Dental
They
included.
don't even have dental.
We don't have to offer, we don't have to offer any benefits until we hit 50 employees. So
No, not even then.
Then eats enough for 20.
if you
That's
don't
like
go enough
Cleveland
hours,
being
you
able
don't
to
have
train his
benefits at all.
dependent.
Does
But
all
he-
the people Dennis eaten over his time count as another person?
Wait, how many people has Den eaten?
He's
Wait, wait, wait.
340 years old.
Okay, what if do all of our past characters also count? If we're counting characters instead of players, then we would have 50 people.
I just want to say this is so much fun. I love the dynamic that's forming already.
This
Is
is a
anybody
fun-
disoriented by me playing a paladin?
No,
yes.
I love it.
I am
And
so
I'm-
confused. Anytime that
and
you
I'm
speak
the
through, I'm like on the
snarky,
edge of
like-
my seat.
I
Yeah,
honestly,
and I'm the
Drew-
snarky one making fun of your religion. How does it feel?
How does it feel?
Yeah, Drew, honestly, I haven't known your other characters, so I'm like, yeah, Drew going on about on religious rants and everything, that's par for the course, bro. Straight up.
Oh no, Lagastrian and Sidune would always butt heads, and
Dude,
it was
Gastrian was
really fun.
aggressive. Was
Yeah.
an aggressive
Aggressive.
child. I mean, again, is like a halfling, hilariously dangerous halfling that was just
Mhm.
rhetorically aggressive. Literally from
mean-
again day one, like he was. I mean, he was like, I think it needed level 1. Like I rolled 18 charisma, like level 1 off the bat, 18 charisma type deal.
Yeah.
I mean, I had
Just
a
like-
theological conversation with you while you were drunk till 3 a.m. So I mean, this is not surprising at all.
That's what I want. That is what I want my life.
Which
to be.
one of us hasn't?
I was about to say it's
I
kind of a
have
rite
not.
of passage being friends with
Yeah.
Drew.
I have not. I have never stayed late enough for that.
Yeah,
I
one day.
haven't
one
been
day,
able
kid.
to in a while, but
That was
Guys,
that was the-
there were many of us who were there at the very beginning who very starkly, I believe, remember all of us trailing off. Like we would end the session at midnight, maybe 12:30, even 1. And
Mhm.
then the philosophy would start and we would be up until 4 a.m. or 5 before going to bed. And we would open another case of beer to have just for philosophy discussion. And then we would go to bed afterwards.
See, and
I-
then,
My, how the
Over-
times.
over 3 years ago.
It was before Heather joined up, so I was literally like, I'm just gonna stay and see what happens. I've never stayed late with this group before, and then I was like, what the heck did I get myself into? Because there were a few times I would look over and Noah's up on his throne. It was still while we were outside, and he's listening and he's just kind of shaking his head a little bit.
right, or you've got like 2 other people who are like having some ridiculous conversation, and then there's like a super serious one that's like
Like all whispers and stuff.
be deep topic, and then you've got, oh, which monster would you fuck, going on.
I don't recall that conversation. I think that's whenever I was in control of the music and I was just picking playlists for people to go through.
Didn't that literally?
It is it's 9:02. We're gonna come back at 9:15. Thank you guys so much. I'm having a blast. I hope that you guys are.
Yep.
This is
Oh
a
yeah,
ton of fun.
100%.
I will see you guys
Casey?
in a minute.
Casey, if you want to, go ahead and stop the recording. That way it's broken up into 2 parts. It's easier to upload that way, and then it's also easier to edit.
I mean, yeah, it is